everyone, welcome to Bumble and Bumble Education. I'm Bit, a member of the House of Bumble Collective. Today we're gonna be doing one of fashion's most powerful looks, the Snatched Pony. It's sculptural, it's sleek, it can be worn with many different parts. I wanna take you behind the chair with me while I'm putting in this pony by wearing a POV camera. This way you're seeing what I'm seeing while attaching the ponytail and creating that snatched, powerful look. Whenever we're starting a style, especially something that we want to hold all day, we're gonna start with our product. Today I'm gonna add in the Thickening Spray by subsectioning the hair and spraying my product so that it gets a nice even mist on my whole section. When it comes to the blow dry for the ponytail, it's not about volume, it's about getting the hair dry and getting the roots to all go back towards where the ponytail is going to live. Before we do our directional blow dry, it's always nice to take a look at where we want this ponytail to sit. Is it gonna be a low pony, a middle pony, or a high pony? Today we're going to be doing something right around in here. Something that's lifting up above the occipital, but not at the top of the head. So really just to get these roots going the way we want them to go. You want to be intentional with this part, but not precious. We want to start to see all these roots starting to push backwards towards that ponytail placement. We've gotten most of the moisture out of the hair. It's time to section so that way we can put our flat brush in for our directional blow dry. Take the time to do all the steps of this prep because by prepping the hair this way, the ponytail goes in within seconds versus trying to fight all of this by avoiding the prep. You'll end up having a much harder time getting that sleek, snatched ponytail, maybe even on the first try. So we're taking a mohawk section down the center of the head. This is so that everything is gonna go right back to the top here for our ponytail. So we're gonna section that out first. And then we will section the sides and the back will be one section of its own. You don't want your section, your top section specifically, to be any wider than the width of your flat brush. So if you're feeling like you're not quite sure how wide it should be, a great trick, a little cheat code, is to grab your flat brush, place it over the section, and no hair should hang over either side. The snatched ponytail is all about controlling the root direction so that every single piece of hair grain is going towards the same place, which is why we section out before the blow dry so that even the blow dry is feeling really controlled and the roots are all feeling like we can manipulate them to go in the direction that we want them to live in for the pony. So now we will start the blow dry in the nape. Everything coming back, building till we get to the crown where it's all pushing back. Taking that first section. So now we're gonna start our blow dry, and this is our first section under the occipital. We wanna treat the hair in 3 small subsections in our mind. We wanna treat it with the roots, the mids, and the ends. We wanna treat the roots as their own entity because it's so important in this blow dry that they're all coming back and in the same direction. We'll take care of the mids to make sure they're nice, smooth, and dry, and then really seal those ends down so that the hair looks stunning in that ponytail. Let's start by holding our flat brush on top of the section and scooping with the blow dryer in order to create the hair. We want it to look just like that when it's dry, coming straight out from the root. We're gonna flip our brush around and blow dry mids to ends. It's important that the airflow from your blow dryer is what's creating tension on the brush, not this. This is going to burn your brush and your hair and the clients. Using the airflow as our tension is going to create a high shine, smooth, polished finish. Let's get started. Scooping the roots. Coming from underneath now. Your blow dryer and brush should be dance partners, let's say. They should be working together, not against each other, parallel. And you know your brush and blow dry placement are in the right spot when you can see the ends of your section dancing at the bottom of your brush. That's what we want to see. Making sure not to drop a section until it's completely dry and looking the way we want it to look. I think we have about 1 or 2 more passes and this is going to look great. So as we work our way down, we don't want to just drop it out of the brush, we're going to place it out of the brush. And now we're going to take horizontal sections, working all the way up till we get to the top of the head for that mohawk section. I'm not quite sure if you guys could catch this in my POV camera, but as the mids are drying, we can see they're starting to get much shinier, and that's when you know it's time to move on. Now, if you're watching our ponytail today and you haven't gone and watched the flat brush blow dry, it might be a great tip to go watch the flat brush blow dry breakdown where they can really walk you through this blow dry in even more steps. Let's move to the sides. When we get to the sides, we're going to transition out of a horizontal sectioning and into a vertical sectioning. Now it's time to start getting all of this hair to repeat this. We want all of this to start sitting back away from the face. The hair feels a little soft, so I'm gonna add some thickening spray to it and hit it with my blow dryer. When doing your directional blow dry, oftentimes it is much easier to stand behind it where the ponytail actually wants to live so that you know you're pulling it right in the direction that you want it to see. Vertical, pop our brush back in, and it's the same technique, just a vertical section. That's looking pretty stunning if you ask me. So before I even let that out of my brush, I'm gonna make sure the top isn't hitting my top section. I'm gonna take a clip and clip my section. So now it can cool, lifted up and off the face in the direction I want it to live in. Let's do the front, and I'm gonna repeat on the other side. So now that both sides are done and clipped and cooling, we're gonna start with our mohawk section. We're gonna take 2 to 3 horizontal sections and everything is coming straight back. So this is how it should look in the end, nice and smooth, root direction and the grain all going to center back where our pony will live. We're gonna repeat the exact same technique we did in the back section with horizontal sections, as little elevation as possible, back and straight. This is really all about making sure all the hairs are coming back, so that way once you're putting your ponytail in, you're not worrying about any jumpy hair growth pattern. Now that my directional blow dry is all coming straight back from the head, that grain is looking stunning, we're going to section her from ear to ear. This way we can start our ponytail with a more manageable amount of hair. So just push it off to the side. When putting in a ponytail, you also want to ask your client, your guest, your model, to tilt their head back. That's gonna allow you to get higher up on the head easier. It's also going to allow you that when they drop their chin and look straight, it'll actually pull all the tiny baby hairs in the nape. So it's gonna tighten it as they look straight at the end. Here's my first section. We're gonna put the ponytail in with your flat brush. I'm gonna move my doll head so that she's looking up. It's really important that your ponytail is straight in the beginning. It's a bit of a one and done situation. So you want to make sure you're setting yourself up for success right out the gate so you don't have to go back and change anything. I'm going to keep using my thickening spray as the product that I use on the base. So probably on this section and one more before I get to the surface hair where I'll switch to more of a traditional aerosol hairspray. The thickening spray is going to allow all of the hairs and the grain to melt together. In this scenario, the thickening spray, the Does It All, Spray to Mode, Strong Finish hairspray, they all have a role to play when you use them. All right, this grain is all starting to look like it's going in the right direction. The pony is feeling pretty high, so let's add more hair to the section. As I'm adding hair in these subsections, notice I've not dropped my ponytail. I do not want to let any of the work of the grain or root direction I've done previously change. So if I were to drop it, I'd have to start over because all of this would be saggy. So keeping my placement pretty stationary the whole time, so that way once the ponytail's in, she's done. So everything is starting to come back. Everything is going in the direction we want it to go. I'm going to start adding in. Ideally, you want to be using some Does It All at this point. Does It All is a high shine working spray, but just like backstage, sometimes you grab something else. So I'm going to grab our Spray to Mode, which is a flexible hairspray, still has a beautiful shine to it. And I'm going to start doing what we call a wet application. A wet application means I'm spraying the hairspray very close to the head for it to have a wet look. This is what's giving the ponytail that high shine finish. It's also going to help us to start melt in the grain into our final resting place. And even if you notice, I'm even spraying the product in the direction that I want the hair and grain to live in. So everything is very intentional. Start to add in the last section. Really, before I even apply product, making sure all of my grain is starting to melt into one another. Last section, Spray to Mode. So I'm pushing any little baby hairs that still might be wanting to pop up back and away with the wet application of Spray to Mode. You would be applying the Does It All the exact same way. You do not have to be timid at this point. You see, I'm holding it further away so that I have the space for my hands to work and gather the hair. And then right before, the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up the nape to secure any last little hairs that are down there. We're gonna be securing with a bungee. So I'm gonna have that guy nearby. I like to follow that with my hand to help seal it down. Grain's looking good. Bungee. If you haven't used a bungee, these are amazing. It can secure any amount of hair that gets put in front of you. We're going to hook it into the hair. The biggest trick with the bungees is you do not want to pull on the hook because they might snap off. And you do not want to hook this hook into the other one. You want everything hooked into the hair. So it's hooked into the hair. My hand is taut. I'm going to wrap it around. When it's around one full time, I'm going to stretch out the other way. And that's what's creating the tension. Continue to wrap around, pull when we get to the other side, hook into the hair. Pretty high pony. In order to secure and hide our bungee, we're going to take one little strand of hair from the back bottom of the ponytail And you can do this with spray to mode. I'm going to do it today with our strong finish hairspray because it's not going anywhere with the strong finish. Take a little less. And again, with a very wet application of the hairspray, we're gonna wrap this around our elastic, our bungee, however you are in that moment securing the ponytail. And what this is going to allow us to do is hide our bungee and elastic without needing a bobby pin. At Bumble & Bumble, we always like to use products as tools, just an extension of our razor or our comb. We're gonna use the strong finish to combine these hairs to create a hair rubber band. So again, do not be afraid of the product application. That's what makes this work. So once it's wrapped around your ponytail securely, you're gonna hold it down the ends with your tail comb, low air pressure, and you're gonna use that heat to set all that strong finish hairspray from Bumble & Bumble to secure. And now we have a beautiful ponytail that's nice and secured, no bobby pin needed. We'll give it one spray around the top, a little further back, not as close. This ponytail is going absolutely nowhere. She could probably sleep in this for 4 days and it wouldn't move. And here it is, the Snatched Pony, one of fashion's most powerful, confident, and sculpted styles. Thank you so much for joining me today at Bumble & Bumble Education. My name's Bit, and I'm a member of the House of Bumble Collective. If you want more tips and tricks like we did today, follow us at Bumblepro. I can't wait to see you again soon, whether it be in a class, at the salon, or backstage.